Hola. Para la gente que
Hell,
no sabe, que no
hello,
hablas español,
fear
no va a
the
ser que yo estoy diciendo, pero la
super
gente sí puede
spy.
hablar español, sí puede
Here with
entender. Yo
a
no
new
sé cómo, cómo,
YouTube video
cómo, cómo,
about
cómo,
the
cómo,
new
cómo.
Nintendo Project Dolphin.
Yep, that
Okay,
was a joke.
so
Technic.
that was our translation joke pertaining to the Nintendo Switch. We hope you liked it. All right,
Yep,
all right,
quality content right here.
quality. All right,
Aha, the Switch is gonna fail. It wasn't as funny as last time.
we didn't record this 2 times prior to try and get the
Yeah.
joke right.
No, 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 we didn't.
All right. Anyway, so this is our discussion thing on the recent Switch news that was released. I don't know if you heard about that. I mean, not a lot of people have been talking about it really.
I'm
It's
using
Yeah,
it. Controls.
kind of a low.
I'm using mobile
It's, they just walk onto the stage and he's like Tatsumi just walks onto the stage. He's like, wait, is that his name? I can't remember his name. I think anyway, and he's like, I'm using tilt controls.
Oh
Anyway,
no,
so we're
Support.
doing a discussion on the recent Nintendo Switch presentation and the
because we're
Treehouse.
original.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I don't think anyone else has done this at all. But
No.
basically, I have like a list of things we're gonna go over and give our thoughts on and whatnot. So I guess let's get started. So first, we were gonna cover. We wanted to talk about the presentation itself, like how it actually
Oh
went.
no. Oh no.
So I guess since I'm already talking, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Um, I actually have not formulated thoughts on this until now, so I'm gonna do.
Oh.
So I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was actually better than watching a direct. I don't know. It might have just been like Switch hype, but usually with a direct, there's something about it that kind of like slightly pisses me off. I don't know what
Triggered.
it is, but I think it's like the really happy music and sound effects or something like that while they're announcing something that you don't like that angers me about directs. They're like the
What was it, like Pocket Card Jockey or something
yeah,
like that?
like Pocket Card Jockey will be releasing on something that, and it plays that sound effect with the effect at the bottom. So I liked the presentation. A lot of it was because of the like pre-recorded parts, like with what's his face, who was showing the ice cubes in the glass.
Oh yeah, the
And then
ice
when you
cube joke
drank it,
bombs.
that's like next gen technology.
Yeah,
I didn't know
right,
Yeah.
humans were capable of
Nintendo
that.
dude,
Switch that could summon a glass of water right there.
dude.
No,
I
not
would
even that part. The fact that he like lifted it to his lips and like just let it go down his throat. I didn't know people could do that. With the new Nintendo Switch, you can not only play video games but hydrate your body.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll buy the system just so I can emulate the feeling of ice cubes in a glass.
You still have to purchase a cup and also water, and you have to hold it in the same hand as the Joy-Con, but then it feels exactly the same.
You just put the Joy-Con in the cup.
And a cup of water.
Anyway, um,
It's not working. You
anyway,
lied to me.
so I liked watching it because I thought it was pretty well organized and stuff, and I liked those little scenes. I mean, it wasn't amazing or anything, but I thought it was pretty well done. I liked it better than watching a direct, maybe because it was something fresh and new. But I can't really think of
Stay
anything that
fresh.
went wrong except for the translators.
Yeah,
As,
I,
as
I
presented by our intro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we tried. I think something else that was cool about it was like with directs, they're sort of just like spilling their guts, and I liked that because it was like it felt like they were actually communicating with us. But it's kind of cool that like now they actually like they've got secrets to withhold, so they can't just spill their guts yet. Like Nintendo directs were cool, but you know since we don't really have a WADA anymore, they don't have personality really. It's sort of just like a big old list in an hour-long video. So now it's like we've got like a guy on the stage screaming Splatoon 2 and then he like does a
was he
like a cool
dabbing?
pose.
It looked
I
like
No,
he
don't
was
know. It was
dabbing.
just I
his
don't
head
even know
was
what that
down.
pose was. He was just like pointing.
Yeah,
It like had personality and there's like mystery to it. Like they know something that we don't yet, which is like ooh,
yeah,
get excited.
yeah.
I
Anyway,
also really like the part like I said when he drank the water. That was like mind
yeah.
blowing. No technology was capable of that.
It was great. Anyway, a minute ago, I said except for the translators. I guess I want to clarify. I don't think the translators were bad. Like I'm not
It's
trying
just
to
that
like
one particular
yeah,
translator.
I'm not trying to be mean to them. I'm not like saying they're bad translators. They speak a lot better Japanese than I do. But I guess I think because it's obvious they weren't briefed on what the people were saying beforehand were going to be saying. So they had to like just do it like on the spot, which was obviously like a lot of pressure. So
Yeah, because it's like speech jammers where you like talk into a microphone and then it like repeats what you're saying back to you like a second later.
yeah.
Except you're like trying to talk in a different language while a guy in a like in like you're trying to listen to one language, speaking in a different language, while the guy speaking in that language is still going. Like he doesn't stop for you. You just have to keep going. So it's like having your like a different voice played in your ear while you're trying to form a coherent sentence.
Yeah.
I can barely speak English, so
What? Oh yeah. Anyway, so I feel kind of bad for that one translator.
didn't they cut him off before he
Right.
could finish?
Yeah.
Reggie shot him. I read it online. It's a launch title. Reggie's quest to end the translator. I don't know how he got from like
no.
murdering a dude to like the Breath of the Wild release date little skit thing that they put on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know how he got from the crime scene there that fast, but
Oh yeah. He's a talented man. Anyway, Dark, do you have any thoughts?
I mean, I enjoyed it. I stayed up till 11 o'clock at
Yeah.
night to watch it. So.
Yeah, normally I go to bed at like 11 or 11:30
Oh yeah,
because
it was 12 for you, wasn't it?
it started at 11. But yeah, normally I go to bed at like 11 or 11:30 so I can get like a semi decent amount of sleep, but I was like, you know what? This is important. I'm
Yeah.
staying up to watch this.
A
I was up
press
till 2:30
conference
doing work.
Nice.
was important.
Anyway, so I just want to say before we move on to the next thing, when I saw the counter, like I got on the stream, it was so close. I barely got on in time to see this part. When I saw the counter from 60 seconds down, I actually like screamed. I'm not
Oh, no.
like I jumped up and I was like ah, and I started like pounding the floor with my feet and stuff.
Or pounding your
that
meat.
was weirdly worded. Yes, that too. Anyway, I think we've covered that part.
I think they don't know Grayson.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a joke about Grayson's Nintendo fetish, but
Oh god.
Anyway,
Don't.
moving on. I wanted to talk
Grayson's
about
front.
the actual system itself.
Hmm.
So, like, basically just the hardware of the Nintendo Switch, like discounting software and all that. So, who wants to go first?
I guess I sacrificed Morgan first.
Sick. Okay. So I think it looks cool. I think it's gonna have like good specs. It seems like it can run stuff. The thing that scares me is that like the first thing that they started showing was motion controls again.
Yeah.
At least that's not the only way to play, but I think that they like it's like when someone's doing something that like annoys you and it's like directly affecting you, so you're like, hey dude, stop, and then they're like, okay, and then they like stop doing it for a little bit, and then they do it again, and then you're like, hey dude, stop, and then he's like, okay, and then he like does it again, and then you like pull out a knife, so then he stops, but then like a little bit later he starts like secretly doing the thing, like you can't tell, and he's not really doing the thing, like not to the extent where you could yell at him again or like stab him, but he's like still doing it, and it's annoying, and you're like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
If that makes sense. I'm just afraid they're gonna push the motion control thing too hard and then scare off all the real gamers.
I
'Cause
think-
there's already backlash against it.
I think on that regard, I don't like I see what you mean, but I think the motion controls are mostly going to be a thing for like their casual games like 1-2 Switch and ARMS. Like I'm sorry Nintendo, it's not like I'm going to call it a casual game and not the competitive experience with the replay. Actually, I'd actually kind of believe them that it gets like to be a complicated game, but it could also be taken as like a casual one from what I've seen of it.
Just
So-
like Smash.
Like I don't think.
Smash
And plus
is
you
not
can.
casual.
And plus,
Come on, man.
yeah. At this point, it's not casual at all. But anyway,
I'm a Gandorf main, I know.
yeah. Uh, anyway, so you can play ARMS without motion controls anyway. So wait, we're talking about software. Damn it. So anyway, I don't. Based on that, I don't think, and the other games that are coming out for it, I really don't think they're gonna push it that much. But like, it'll be there, but it won't be like their key selling point anymore, I guess.
I was just afraid that they'd start using a gimmick, like because once they
I mean, the
with
console's like literally a gimmick itself.
I don't really think that the key thing of the Switch is a gimmick because really it's just like a cool thing that you can
Yeah.
do. But like if
Yeah.
you want to, it's literally just a home console, and that's the only thing. It's just a cheaper home console because then the battery life isn't an issue.
It
The
doesn't
only
come
thing you
with
have
a
to do, what?
That doesn't come with a game.
Yeah, but yeah, it's still just like a home console. If you want to use it as a portable console, then you can, and if you want to put it on a kickstand on an airplane and like play Skyrim with the most like dumbfounded expression on your face, then yeah, you can do that. But like, you know, but like with their first two things that they came right out of the gate, like guys, look, you could feel ice in a cup.
I actually
that's-
liked that though. I think that's a cool feature.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing, and
The
maybe
HD rumble.
maybe if they decide to do VR, then those are going to be like your
Amazing.
hand things.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's gonna be really like I was watching the Treehouse, and they said that in ARMS when you like flick the Joy-Con forward, it like emulates the feeling of like the chain or like the ribbon or whatever like flying out like you can feel like it I don't know how to describe it, but it emulates like the different like parts of it like going through your hand, I guess.
Mhm.
Like so you can feel like I don't know about if texture is the word, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah. So they're at least proving that if they do decide to get into VR anytime soon, that
They're prepared for
they've got the hand stuff down, like they've got the controllers down, like they have the technology to do that. So maybe like the Joy-Cons wouldn't be that, but like they can do it
Yeah.
if they do VR.
Yeah, it could
Any-
work.
Anyway, any other stuff on the system? I guess I agree with Morgan earlier that it looks cool because like for actually pretty much forever Nintendo's had this like look to their stuff that it's like this really bulky like almost Fisher Pricey look to their controllers and whatnot. With like the gamepad, for example, like it looks like it's like the really cheap kind of plastic. It's like
Yeah.
lustrous and stuff, and it looks kind of like not really cool,
Sturdy.
I guess. And it's like
And
bulky and whatnot.
Mhm.
They've definitely improved on that with the Switch because now it's just like this really sleek, like simplistic kind of system. Like especially with like it looks really cool with the Joy-Cons attached to the sides of it.
Yeah, the dogs.
No, oh, I'm talking about like the screen Joy-Con setup.
I know, but it's still dogs.
Yeah.
The normal controller does look pretty good too, though. Like I thought it'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
kind of funky looking to hold, but it's like it
Uh-huh.
looks good.
Yeah, I heard
Like-
on a. Sorry, you're gonna
Sorry.
say something? Okay.
I was gonna make a bad joke.
Oh, well, let's avoid that. Anyway,
Yeah, that's
I heard on, like a Game Explain discussion that
Mhm.
there was they had the guy who like the guy in the red jacket from the reveal trailer, who is like on the Splatoon part, like the Splatoon team.
Mhm.
And they actually got to like hold the controllers, right? And he said it's one of the most comfortable controllers he's ever held in his entire life. Like second to GameCube and Xbox One, I think he said. But
The controller holds you back.
anyway, it's like it's apparently good, and that makes me optimistic.
I mean, I know one thing for sure. I'm selling my soul for this thing, so
Yeah, I'm gonna like trade in I actually have a stack of games in my room right now that I'm gonna trade in to get money to buy this.
I'm gonna start renting out my room.
no, it's just like with me.
Captain
It's just, I-
Cuttlefish rents it out.
To all of our
Oh,
viewers, my
no.
top bunk is open. Just so you know.
Anyway, I think we've taken up enough time with this. There's some other things I would have covered, but I'd like to
Okay,
move
wait.
on.
Who cares?
One more thing about the console. battery life's a little scary because like it's
Yeah.
2.5 to 6 hours. Like it's not just 6 hours. It could be 2.5, and the fact
Or it
that
could
they
be
only
6.
yeah, well, they only talked about a couple of games, so we can infer that at least one of those games is going to have a 2 point as going to give you a battery life of
Cough, cough,
2.5.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, probably.
Breath of the Wild gives you like 3 or 3.5, I think I read, which is still not good. But like you can just carry around like one of those portable charger things that works on your phone, I guess. But like
Yeah, probably.
battery life still scares
What
me.
I do is
It's
I
It's
just
micro.
carry around
Wait,
my phone charger with me all the time. Then whenever I need to charge my phone, I just hook it up to my laptop, and it just feeds the power from my laptop to my phone.
mhm.
So I could probably do the same thing too.
Does it's micro USB, isn't it?
It should be.
Yeah, I think so.
Let me check. Never mind. I don't have it
Anyway.
open.
I mean, all AC adapters are pretty much the same in
Mhm.
terms of what's it called, little output things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, one last thing on the hardware that I want to bring up. People seem concerned about the storage. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I think. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
because in the Treehouse they showed that it does use SD cards, like micro SDs. So
And you can just like stick it in the back. It's
No,
not
I mean,
like
no, it's just that people aren't worried about the storage. They're just worried about like having to buy more stuff
Yeah.
for storage. That's what they're worried about.
because as it stands right now, the system's pretty expensive.
And I
with-
also read somewhere online that the to digitally download Breath of the Wild, you need at least 32.15 gigs. Or something like that.
Jesus.
pardon me.
Not 32, 13. Not 32, 13.
Okay. Okay.
I got my numbers mixed up for a second.
Excuse me. You scared the shit out of me.
I except okay. So people who are concerned about storage consider this. It's at least as powerful as current gen consoles, probably more powerful, and it's a lot cheaper than they were when they came out. And with the $200 you're not spending on the console, you can spend like $20 to $30 and just get a huge SD card and then stick it in your system, and then you're good.
Yeah. Okay.
It's great.
All right. Well, it's gonna be great, guys. Anyway, I think that's enough on the hardware. So I'd like to move on to the two new, like, I guess we talked about them a little bit already, but I guess like the Switch game. I don't know how to describe them. 1-2 Switch and Arms.
The gimmicky sort of games.
Yeah, those.
The launch title, basically.
Well, Arms actually isn't a launch title.
No, but
What? Okay, wait. Actually, that's good.
I'm considering
What?
those launch titles because that's just basic game stuff. So
Yeah.
It's
Anyway.
good because now I have to buy Breath of the Wild. I can't. I don't have to deliberate between Arms and Breath of the Wild. I've got to
Yeah.
get Breath of the Wild.
That might be why they don't have a lot of launch titles, actually, because it doesn't get bundled with a game. So it's like you have to, like, I guess it's making you think about what game you want to get, which like encourages making better use of it. I don't know. Anyway, so
I don't know, Mark.
that didn't make any sense. Anyway, there's 1-2 Switch and Arms. I like both of them.
Yeah.
Like
I'm gonna go lean more towards Arms because that just seems more fun to me.
I like
Yeah.
both of them. I think Arms looks more fun, but I like the concept between 1-2 Switch because that's kind of like bringing a lot of people. I mean, I don't think anyone will buy a system for it, but I think it could make some like more casual players notice because it's like this is actually I don't think there's any other way besides like Nerf guns or something that you can play duel without actual consequences of somebody dying.
So Russian roulette, people, Russian roulette.
Oh yeah, but that's
Why
dying.
would you be concerned
maybe.
with someone
You know,
dying?
that
If someone
is-
wants
it's the
to duel,
risk.
then they better just
No.
suck it up.
No, I figured that 1-2 Switch would be a bundle game like Wii Sports and Wii Sports
Yeah,
Resort
I thought
and
it
all
would be
that,
bundled
but
too.
that would be the smartest thing to do. But no, I guess it's not.
And it's $50.
Okay,
Switch.
so I know we're jumping ahead a little bit, but I've heard somewhere that Street Fighter Ultra 2 for the Switch, right? That's like $40.
I'm not buying that.
Me
And then
neither.
the
I wasn't gonna
previous
buy Street Fighter.
Iteration
anyway.
was like $15. The previous iteration of it.
That's weird.
Anyway,
Anyway.
so for 1-2 Switch, the thing that I really like about it is the same thing that I like about Wii Party U, even though I barely play it, and like every Jackbox game, which is that people who don't play video games can play them. Like with Wii Party U, the controller is so like absurdly simple that anyone can pick it up. I mean, like you've got to like get used to the controller at first and stuff, but it's not like handing someone a Smash controller and being like, which button do I hit to attack? Oh, actually, there are three individual buttons that you can press to attack, and then you can just like see the gears like turning in their heads. You're like, wait, and then it's like, yeah, and the button on the top you can shield with, and they're like, and then they're like looking at you like you're a wizard or something.
And if you hold that and then press the analog stick in this direction, you can dodge. You can also grab by pressing the Z button. Don't forget to wave dash.
Don't forget to wave dash.
This is how you wave shine.
Anyway,
but yeah. So it's cool because that's going to be like whenever I get it, I'm probably not going to buy it at first. I might not ever buy it because I don't just have $50 laying around that I can spend on a purely multiplayer game. But it's sort of cool that I can like have someone over and then it's just like, well, what do you want to do? And then it's like, even if they're one of my friends who aren't accustomed to console games, I can just be like, hey, let's play this silly game for a little bit. That's a nice way to have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it looks like there's gonna be more than just the dual game too with it.
Yeah,
like
that was probably the main focus. So
yeah, it just seems like a game. Like, sorry, were you gonna say something?
I said it's high noon.
Oh, okay.
That was my contribution.
High noon somewhere.
Anyway, it seems like a game that you can just be like, I'm bored. I don't like. You have somebody over and you're like, I'm bored. I don't know what to do, and you're like, oh, let's play 1-2 Switch. Have some stupid fun for a little while.
That's how I handled Nintendo Land for the Wii U.
Yeah.
And then like you're doing duel and they've like beaten you 2 times and then like you're about to shoot like that you see their hand like moving like their hands moving up and then you just pull out an actual gun and shoot them and be like nice try. I've just been building up ult charge this whole time.
It's Nihun.
It's 9 noon.
Ultimate is just pulling out a gun. That's it.
You don't even shoot it. You just pull it out.
My ultimate is ready. It is one.
No, it just fires blanks. It doesn't fire bullets. Just blanks.
Anyway.
No, I have to throw the gun.
Anyway, throw the gun like. Never mind. Let's move on to ARMS now. I guess. I like it.
Pumped for ARMS.
Oh yes, and I like it as well because I don't think anybody else has really mentioned this yet. I like the character designs in ARMS. I think they're fun. Also, it's a new IP for Nintendo, which is good.
I saw Genji Diva and someone that was either Winston or Roadhog.
More of a Roadhog. Closer.
I mean, like the guy with the huge arms that was like a mummy.
Yeah, that's more of a Roadhog, I think.
It's Doomfist.
Anyway, I like those.
Doomfist
the game,
Smash confirmed.
I also like that it's a pretty creative game and how it works. It's unique. And I think I like the mechanics that they showed off in the Treehouse of like how you can select your arms to do different things. Like one is a boomerang, one's just like a standard punch, that kind of thing. It like adds strategy to it and whatnot. And I think that there's going to be like, it does look like they're actually serious about making it a game that will have like replayability. Yeah, I actually think they're going to make esports for this because there have been rumors, I think, of like them. I'm not that these could be fake. Of like talking to esports companies, and they showed esports in the Switch trailer, which makes me think they're really thinking about esports and wanting to push it. And the fact that they talked about so much like they kept talking about how competitive ARMS was, it makes me think they're going to try and do ARMS like esports.
I mean, it won't surprise me if it doesn't, but it won't surprise me if it does either. So
yeah,
I don't really care about esports at all. Really, I don't think Well, I watch Smash Bros. Sometimes. Like, when I'm feeling down, I like to watch them to convince myself I'm even more useless than I initially thought I was. But beyond that, I don't really care about esports. The thing that's going to be good about it, though, is that if they do get esports, that's going to force them to balance it really, really, really well, which is going to be cool, because then that'll make the customization worth something. Because what I was afraid of initially was that it was just going to be like boomerang just hard counters like everything or something like that. Like there's just like a clear best combination.
They add shine to the game.
It's
the
just
wave dash in the game.
It teleports across the stage instantly. and has a fixed amount of knockbacks that you
No,
can combo your opponent into anything.
no, it's an Oko move.
Yeah, but I kind of hope that they balance it really, really well so that the customization means something and that like your own skill is more than like having a tier list for what arm you should attach to your character.
A separate tier list for each arm, a left arm tier list and a right arm tier list.
All
Watch,
right.
bet that's gonna happen.
All right. Yeah, probably. Well, no, actually, no. You can put the same things on left arm as right arm. So
Got him.
anyway, any thoughts, Dark?
I mean, it's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
that's it. That's it
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know if like I'm not saying I'm for sure thinking it's gonna actually be competitively viable, but like at the very least, I think it looks like a fun game. It'll be fun to play with friends.
I just
Yeah.
wish you could actually punch people and like the Joy Cons would notice it. So like you could, like
No, Morgan.
I can beat someone up and at the same time I'd be whooping them in arms. Like then first of all they're on the ground like their heads ringing, but then also they get to hear like player one wins or something like that, and
Yeah.
that's like the last thing they hear before blacking out. And then you take them to a hospital. I'd take them out for a nice meal because I'm a generous person, but like I'd beat them up.
Dude, they don't even need to actually be beat up. They can get the exact same feeling from the HD Rumble.
Oh no.
It actually breaks your ribs.
No, it's just vibration
It's
not
a-
strong enough to break your bone.
It has the vibration power of a magnitude 7 earthquake.
This is this is Weather Simulator 4 if you get through an actual hurricane.
Here I am.
Just imagine, like, okay, so Farming Simulator was confirmed for the Switch, right? Just imagine playing that with the HD Joy-Con Rumble packs.
What if you get your
Farming
hand caught?
Simulator.
What if you get your hand caught in the tractor or something like that? Like,
Well,
does your
that's
hand
gonna be
actually
cool.
get cut off?
Maybe.
Good old woodchucker. Anyway, I think that's enough on arms.
You
So
lose your arms.
let's move on to one of the big announcements that everyone's losing their shit over.
Yep.
Super Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Brothers. Odyssey.
Honestly, when I first seeing the trailer, I thought it was Galaxy 3.
I
They're
didn't.
using Galaxy 3 is probably not going to happen anymore because
No,
they're using a lot of the same like sounds and stuff though.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was Galaxy 3. But it's Odyssey.
I think
well.
I didn't think it was Galaxy 3. I didn't really notice it then, but like it didn't have any of the like spherical planets or anything. It didn't show anything space related. Like
Yeah.
it was all flat surfaces and everything, so I didn't really feel
Well,
too
what
inclined.
really sold me for it is because, like, sound effects is one thing, then another is just, like, the different drastic places.
That's true.
I thought,
Yeah, that was kind of making me consider it, but I still wasn't like, yeah, I wasn't completely sold on it. If I can give like a summary of my thoughts on it, I think it looks really nice. I like the,
Bowser.
it's like yes, I'll get to that in a second. It's like Mario has felt so stale, I think, to a lot of people for quite some time. Like ever since the new Mario games.
It's the Wii game.
Yeah,
New Super
pretty
Mario
much
Wii.
since new Mario Wii, Mario has felt pretty stale, except for maybe a few exceptions. So I think this game is really like the fresh Mario game we need because it's like completely different. It's
Yeah.
it's like mostly based on, well, one, it introduces this new mechanic of throwing your hat and jumping on it, which I like. They'll probably use it for other stuff too. But the worlds
New
are
Smash
just
Mario.
completely different from anything Mario related before. Like there's these like realistic humans in the prism world and all of this. It's like so different in a way that I think is really good because it sets
Mario
it apart.
6 vibes.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's like they're actually trying to do something new with Mario again.
Yeah.
And it has this cool feel to it too, partially because, like, you know, Bowser's hat. I mean, have you seen Bowser's design? That man looks snappy. I gotta say, he's looking good. I love the Bowser design. And
Yeah.
It seems like they're trying to modernize it a lot more because there's like the cool city and then like there's Bowser with his like sweet hat.
yeah.
And then like billboards of their marriage all over the place.
Yeah, it looked almost like, but that at like the same time, it felt like almost like a 20s thing or something like that because like the posters for their marriage were like stylized like it was some kind of like ad in the 1920s or 30s or something like. Okay, maybe not the 30s.
How would you know, Edgy? Were you born then?
No, but
Are you sure about that?
uh,
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
anyway, yeah, I think it looks good, and there hasn't really ever been a really bad 3D Mario game, so I think it'll be a good game. That's my
There was an
thoughts.
episode of one of the Super Mario shows. I don't know if there are multiple. I don't think I remember a live action part, but it's the one where they're in Dinosaur Land, and there was one episode where they went to the real world and Bowser like chased them around.
Mm.
So I have high hopes for this game.
Wait,
If it can
Bowser-
compare to the original episode, then
Wait, a real life Bowser chased them?
no, it wasn't real life. It was like animated, but the real world.
Oh, okay.
Like they were actually in Paris. I think Bowser knocked over the Eiffel Tower, but I'm not sure. It was something funny. It was like
Check
dumb
Google
slaps.
Maps.
Actually, I think he killed his son. Yeah, I remember that part. He just like
So-
he was like smelling the baguettes, but he was like, I can't eat these or else I'll be French. And then he ate his son.
Even the Nintendo Switch parental controls could not save Bowser Jr.
No, I really love that video though. The parental controls
Yeah,
video.
that was cute.
Yeah, it was a cute
I
video.
liked watching Bowser like with his gigantic hands holding a smartphone.
And,
Yeah.
and let's take a minute to realize that his wallpaper was Peach.
Yeah, I loved that. That was hilarious.
I feel kind of bad for Bowser. I hope that there's like at some point in the future they just make like they like slowly transition Mario away from Peach to like some other girl, and then they have like some really touching game where like Bowser and Peach actually get married and Peach is like cool with it.
Yeah.
Because at this point I've killed enough innocent monsters as Mario that I'm starting to feel really, really bad for Bowser.
Yeah.
Like-
How many years? 30 years?
Millions of people, like
For 30 years?
hundreds of thousands, probably millions of times, have committed horrific atrocities on Bowser.
Genocide.
We've murdered him. We've kicked him into black holes. Like we've beaten up his son a couple times too, and then also him who like looked identical to his son when he was a kid.
The Koopalings.
Yeah, like we've beaten up his other children, who he had with Miyamoto.
Oh no.
Oh
Who would've-
yeah. No,
would've
his
had
only
to?
kid is Bowser Jr. The Koopalings aren't his
Oh, yeah.
kids. I don't remember where they're from though, or like whose kids
They
they
just
are.
came out of nowhere.
Anyway,
There.
Just like Lucas.
yeah, I just feel bad for Bowser at this point. I feel like he deserves like a little bit of a break, or maybe he needs another girl, and then that's who he goes with, and then like
Redemption. That's what he needs.
Maybe that's why he's wearing his cool new outfit to make him feel better about himself.
guys, next 3D Mario game. All right, so Bowser
Oh.
kidnaps Peach, and at first we think it's a standard Mario game, but then at some point we realize Bowser was trying to kidnap Peach because there's another girl that Peach is friends with who he likes, and he's trying to like impress her and like make
By
her jealous.
stealing her friend?
No, he's trying to make her jealous because she's like, wow, why wouldn't that hunky Koopa steal
Why
me
wouldn't
instead?
that hunky
So then-
fire-breathing
Oh,
turtle?
God. Totally
Mario,
going
Mario
more
like
mature.
gets to him, and then Bowser explains himself, and then the girl's like, "Oh, Bowser, I always loved you," and then there's like a passionate sex scene, and then
Oh God, Morgan, just stop there.
let me keep going. So then-
Morgan,
then-
that's enough. When we get to
so-
bestiality,
no,
we
stop. So it's over, and they're all standing there, and then Mario's like, this game doesn't really have direction without a villain. And then from the distance, they hear, I have chortles. Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story, Part 2.
Oh God,
All right, well, that's... I think,
that was something.
do you think we've covered
Anyways,
enough
Mario
Odyssey?
looks- That's it.
You think we've done enough Odyssey? All right, well... okay, well, that's Super Mario Odyssey. Looks cool. So next, I think we wanted to talk about... just like real quick, because we didn't pay much attention to it, because these aren't really our kinds of games, but like the RPGs basically. So what was there? There was Xenoblade. There was the
Two.
Dragon Quest game.
Dragon Quest 10 and 11, which is Japan only,
Yeah.
so don't worry about
There
that.
was some other sprite work game that actually looked pretty
It's
cool.
it's a Square Enix game that was made from the creators of Bravely Default.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There were a few games that they just sort of tacked the... Some of the games didn't have a logo. I can't remember if they just didn't have a logo at the end or if they just tacked the Square Enix logo onto the end of them, but I just didn't pay attention to any of them because, like you've got, like, flowers You got the sun. You got violin music. You got like some kind of either retro or like groundbreaking graphics. You got the word project in the title, and then that's it. That's just an RPG. Like I love RPGs, but I'm getting really, really sick of the violin music. It's really, really annoying.
And then among the RPGs that were confirmed, Shin Megami Tensei is getting another game made for it.
Oh wow, cool.
I know nothing about that.
Me neither, but that's cool.
I don't even want innovation. I don't want like a new groundbreaking amazing RPG. Just please, if it's not going to be original, just don't make it, please. I can't play Square
Just take
Enix
out the
games.
violence.
Yeah, I can't play Square Enix games at this point because I've like gotten so used to hearing the violin and going, oh, that like I can't enjoy
No,
it.
Morgan, you just watched too many MLG memes when they were still popular with the sad violin.
Sad
Final
violin.
Fantasy.
It's just you got the spiky hair guy, you got some kind of giant weapon, you got some kind of magic thing, and then like the world is ending, and that's it. That's all you need. Like I get that I'm oversimplifying.
Oh yeah,
it,
don't
but,
forget
like,
the quirky, strange animal character.
yeah, like
know what?
I'm
what's
not
making
trying to
games
oversimplify
based off
it.
that,
I don't
Morgan?
get it. I
What?
can't play new RPGs because it's just
Morgan,
like too
Morgan.
much of a commitment.
Word.
But-
Just because you said that, I'm gonna make a game based off of that.
It's like
All right.
like the most generic possible JRPG you could possibly conceive.
If
Yep.
you do want a really generic JRPG that's actually good, you should play Evil Land because that was a really
Oh,
good
cool.
game.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I might do that sometime. One RPG I still need to finish is Child of Light, but that's a story for another time.
Final Fantasy
Hey,
15,
guys,
58
guys.
hours in. Yeah.
Guys, let me save you some time. All those JRPGs that you saw. If you're not 100% positive that you're going to enjoy them, and you just sort of looked at them and went meh, just buy Evo Land and play it. It's very simple, but it's an enjoyable experience, and I know you're going to like it because I did. And there's just it's
We're
just
not
so simple.
sponsored.
You can't be mad at it.
Not sponsored.
Well, Xenoblade 2 looks cool though. I mean,
yeah,
like
Xenoblade 2 I'm fine with.
Yeah, I'm not like a big Xenoblade fan, but the change in art style interested me. I kind of like it better now. I like the character designs. The Monado looks cool. It looks like they're
Well,
doing.
we don't even know if that's the Monado still or not.
Yeah, well, the sword looks cool. The world building looks interesting based on that like market shot they had.
And then let's talk about the giant whale.
Oh
I thought he
yeah,
was gonna
the
eat the
whale thing.
Like I thought he was just gonna like eat the tree, and then like the protagonist was gonna like jump off and become Superman. I didn't have an issue with Xenoblade 2 because it gave me that like whoa feeling when I was looking at it. All of the other ones were like ridiculously artsy and stupid looking, and I don't like any of them.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I thought it was kind of gonna eat the tree too. So you think we've covered RPGs enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, wait, I have one last word.
Oh god.
Bowser's Inside Story is the greatest game of all time, and you should definitely play it.
Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story, is the
For the
single
Nintendo
best
DS.
game for the Nintendo DS.
Or
Is the
3DS.
single best game that has ever been created in the history of mankind. Now, I get not everyone's going to enjoy it as much as me.
Like, I had the most fun playing that game ever. It's actually great. You know, it's there's a awesome
And on top of all of that,
Morgan.
the icing on the cake
God damn it.
is that there's a toad.
You just hear a distant hello. Anyway.
No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna speed
They're, like, so
it up,
fair.
and right at that point, I'm just gonna insert a toad hello, and that's it.
Hello.
I hope that someday Nintendo really catches on to good characters and decides to make a Mario RPG where all of the characters are toads.
Color Splash the 7.5. Anyway.
Oh,
One other thing, there's Fire Emblem Warriors. It's Dynasty Warriors Fire Emblem, probably going to be like not.
Hyrule,
That's
Dragon
pretty
Quest
cool. I like
Warriors.
Fire Emblem characters. I'm not a huge fan of the Dynasty Warriors gameplay, but I know some people are, so that's pretty cool. You guys got anything to say about that?
At least
my
it's
entrance.
portable.
That's it.
Yeah,
At least it's portable, so you can get like short bursts of it and then just like close it and
At
play a
least,
better
it's,
game.
at least it's portable and the system won't shit itself like in Hyrule Warriors Legends.
Oh, God.
So,
The worst part about Hyrule Warriors Legends is having to carry a bag
Oh.
for when your system shits itself.
A diaper.
Ooh, I
Just
thought
put
we
a
were on the
diaper
same
your
wavelength.
Quality
3DS.
jokes here.
Anyway, other games. There's like the Bomberman game. I don't know much about Bomberman, but I think it's cool that there is one on the Switch.
Sonic Mania confirmed.
Yes,
Got multiplayer.
Oh,
baby.
I probably shouldn't have said that.
Sonic Mania on the Switch. I was gonna get it on PC, but Sonic Mania on the go. I'm sorry. That is just like godlike.
I'm still buying it on PC because I can't play platformers unless I have a keyboard.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
That's weird, but okay.
Unless it's like Super Meat Boy. I can't play Super Meat Boy on a keyboard. But I can't play Cave Story on a controller.
That's very strange, but you do
Yeah.
you.
I
Anyway,
don't know.
also there's Sonic Project 2017, which we know almost zero about, but I think there's probably going to be news on that soon.
They delay it to 2018, but they keep
We're
calling
probably,
it
we're probably
Project
hear more about it on
2017.
E3, Ethan.
What?
We'll probably hear more about it about E E3.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be sooner than that because they still said that there would be news soon, but or on Sonic. Anyway, that's that. There's that. I forget what it's called. It's like Clip and Snip or something. Like it's like this game where you play as these two little paper things, and it's a puzzle solving game. They're like these two little characters that you control, and you like basically cut off parts of each other to like use them to solve puzzles. Like if you need to pop a balloon, you like cut your partner into the shape of like a needle and pop a balloon to get whatever was on it or something like that. And I was watching it on the Treehouse, and it was just adorable, man.
You
Especially
cut your partner into the shape of a wiener.
Haha.
Oh,
You probably can.
How much is it?
Anyway,
I
and
say
know
about
that
40
Treehouse.
bucks, 40, 60,
yeah, I
80.
also the character's facial expression. are really
$100 for that game.
I would do it. Anyway, I think that's pretty much all I have to say on that game right now. It looks good. So I guess back to the big stuff. Next what we have on the bill is Mario Kart.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's only 3 new characters and a battle mode.
and
Well,
a
Inklings,
new
so not
improved item
free.
system.
What?
Yeah.
The item system has changed as well.
Also, it performs better. Oh, yeah, the item system. I'm gonna sell my copy of Mario Kart 8 Wii U so I can get Deluxe.
I just regret buying those DLC now when I could have waited like a year or two later.
Oh yeah, does
There's
it come
like-
with all the DLC?
I think so.
There's new tracks, there's new characters, there's a better battle mode, and there's a better system, and there's a better item system, and there's better graphics. So
Graphics are
Yeah.
better.
I
Yeah,
think
and like I
probably-
noticed that it runs way more smoothly on the Switch.
It
than
runs
the Wii.
more smoothly, but I don't think the graphics are any better.
Well, it's probably
HDR.
just a slight revamp.
Yeah,
because
like maybe
of-
maybe they. I think it looked like they improved the lighting a little bit, but
Oh, they definitely have.
yeah,
I can tell a difference though.
yeah. All right,
it's
well,
gonna
that's
run
cool.
better, that's for sure.
Yeah, you can do you can do split screen to a degree at like 2-player split screen at 60 FPS. Wait, could you do that before? I don't know. Anyway,
All I know is that on 4 it looked horrible. Like
Yeah,
when I had 4 people
have
over.
three
Yeah.
or more players, it just doesn't do well.
Yeah.
2, it's iffy, depending
Yeah.
on the map.
but it's better now, so that's cool. All
Split
right.
screen in itself is cancer.
So, oh yeah, when I saw that Inklings were in it, I lost my shit. If you know me, you'll know why.
Have you found it yet?
Yeah, it's.
Was it
It's
from
all,
your 3DS?
it's all over. It's all over my Hyrule Warriors Legends copy. Anyway, next what we have on the bill is Zelda.
I
Yeah.
am excited because I'm a Zelda fan and I always wanted a game like this.
Gee, I wonder if anyone's talked about Breath of the Wild yet. I mean, yeah, it's not like it looks like the best Zelda game of all time or anything, but you know.
There's a cooking mechanic, and you know how I am with cooking. There's a cooking mechanic, then it's open world too, and I love Final Fantasy 15 because it's open world, and then it's just the voice acting, and it's just so much.
Yes. Okay. I didn't hear that much talking about this. I'm so happy that there's voice acting now.
There were like 4 screams. There better not be screams in the American one, or I'm selling my Switch
Morgan,
and my arm.
that was the trailer, not the actual
Yes.
game.
I don't care.
What is with you and the screams?
Leave me alone.
I'll scream at you if you don't.
Great. Now have
Screw
fun.
you. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The voice acting is like is one of the best additions I think they made, because recently in like more recent Zelda games, you'll notice the characters are really animated and expressive and stuff, and that's cool,
Yeah.
right? But
It isn't just Bodro with just text.
it's like the cutscenes in Zelda before never like had much real weight. Like they didn't feel very like, I don't know what the word is.
Yeah, it was like something happens. Link goes, "Wah!"
Yeah, it wasn't very like engaging or anything because the characters didn't feel that real, despite all the effort that was being put into their animation. Like in Hyrule Warriors and stuff, they're really expressive and like dynamic and stuff, and I loved it. But it's just text. It's just text on a screen, and so it like completely ruins like the genuinity of it. But now there's voice acting, and it's actually decent.
And you know what? Like for this one, for this game, I think if there's a voice acting option, I think I'm gonna stay on the Japanese voice acting with subtitles because it's just I've seen like differences between the voice acting, and I just prefer the Japanese one.
I remember,
over the English.
And like when you start the game, like they showed at E3, the Zelda's voice in English doesn't sound bad to me. But
She's screaming.
It's just more expressive with the Japanese one.
Anyway,
There's like the biggest ant of all time on my desk.
really,
I don't know. Actually, it's not an ant. I don't know what that thing is. It's gonna fly at me and kill me.
Well, this is Morgan's last days.
Ah!
Oh God, Morgan, you actually scared me for a second.
Oh, it's gonna crawl onto my phone. Please don't. I don't want to kill you. Just leave.
Is it
All right,
your way?
let's moving on because I'm sort of running out of time right now.
Okay,
Next
yeah,
topic,
that's
the
true.
book on my desk.
Zelda voice acting, good. Open world, good. The trailer
Cooking,
was cool.
good.
It was fun. I like the story, and it's a pretty game. I like the setting and the animals that walk around because the animals are cool, and it's a good game. And everybody's already said this, so let's move on to our.
Oh God, he fell. Okay, he's alive.
This is the most concerned I've
Okay,
ever
that's okay.
heard about you from Morgan.
It's fine. He's alive.
All right, the fate of Morgan's entire life was resting on whether or not that bug lived.
He's
All right, for the grand
Anyway.
finale.
All right, grand finale, because we have to end it on this. Splatoon 2.
Splatoon 2.
Baby. Oh, yes.
Splatoon was like how, well, yeah, it was how, it was how Ethan and Dark met, and then it was how I met Dark. Cause
Yeah.
You know how,
They
And
know
this is how this
yeah,
they had their
became
plots
to be.
and- And then I met Ethan by accident.
yeah. By accident.
By
Because we met
accident.
each other on purpose. We didn't know each other, but we were like, I want to meet a random person. Anyway.
Yeah, one of Ethan's other friends like tripped, and then like he like dropped his like pouch thing, and then I was like, oh okay, I got you. And then I was like, hey, is that Zelda? And then he was like, yeah. And then he started sitting with us at lunch, and then Ethan sat with him too. And then Ethan was like awkward, and like at one point he just started like screaming and throwing things at us. So we were like, all right, let's not like talk to this guy. Yeah, but we got over it.
Yeah.
He still does.
Anyway.
So,
Anyway,
If I
that's
ever
why.
get- that's the first game I'm getting. Splatoon. That's literally the first game I'm getting, and I'm making this. And this that release. That's what I'm making.
About that, you're gonna have to wait a while
I know.
if that's gonna be the first game you'll get for the Switch. Because
I know. I'm not getting it day one. There's
Yeah.
no way I'm getting
Yeah.
it day one.
I'm going to do everything I can to get this thing day one, but
How did you go to your local GameStop right now since they
yeah.
had like few and stuff?
I'm gonna trade in these games. But anyway, Splatoon 2 is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me because Splatoon is my second favorite game of all time, right after Undertale.
Undertale
Trash.
sucks.
Undertale trash. I hate Undertale. It's so cancer. The fan base is terrible. I'm so sick of seeing Undertale on everything. Near.
If you don't like
Important
Undertale, I
too.
don't like dislike you for it. I'm just making fun of specific people.
Neither.
I'm making fun of you, but I don't hate you. Anyway, yeah, Splatoon is like my livelihood. So, anyway, when I knew it was gonna be there. Like, I knew they would put whatever the new
It's
Splatoon
that
game
too.
was. Yeah, I knew the new Splatoon game would be there. But like when I saw it, I screamed again. I jumped up. I was like, ah! So I just peaked my audio. I feel bad for our listeners. But everything about it is like new and cool, and I like how it's actually a sequel and they make use of that. They're not doing the shooter game thing where it's like the same game but they just change the maps and add a few new weapons and maybe like one new mechanic that doesn't change the game that much. No, it's like everything is new.
Yeah, and what's it called? I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I heard somewhere that the clothes pieces, they don't really affect what's it called, abilities anymore. They're just more cosmetic now.
Yeah, I heard that too.
That's a really cool change because that means that you won't have to pick between either being friggin' the coolest looking squid ever, or having like min-maxing your abilities and like spending hours like grinding to get the perfect set. You can sort of just like do them both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. So
and then the hairstyles too.
Oh yes, the hairstyles.
And the guy did the pose in the presentation.
Splatoon 2.
Screen cap that.
I'm gonna take a screen cap of that. I'm gonna get it printed like really, really big, and then I'm gonna put it up on my wall.
You do that, Morgan.
And like if somebody asks you what it is, you just like stand up, do the pose, and you're like Splatoon 2.
Splatoon 2. Like, don't answer the question. Yeah, but like there was also like the shot of like Marie and like the Octolings and stuff, so it looks like there's gonna be a story that's like got something.
I think you're right about that because in the treehouse, like the guy who was talking, he said like I think he said something like there's gonna be more story or like it's gonna go more in depth or something like that.
That also makes sense. That also makes sense though because now that it's like a portable game and you're not always going to be connected to the internet, they need to have
something offline.
Yeah, they need something for you to do while you're not like at your house.
Yeah,
which is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I really hope that also I want it to be more challenging, the single player, and maybe obviously if they're gonna make it like if they're gonna push more single player stuff, obviously it has to be longer. But yeah, I think that looks good. I think they might do playable Octolings in this. Like, yeah, I'm jumping into predictions because so many people want, like everybody was saying, give us playable Octolings. So I think they're gonna do it. Yeah. Anyway, also they added like there's actually 3 new cosmetic customization options because you have hair, pants, and gloves. I think
gloves.
Yeah,
gloves.
Yeah,
sweet.
You can.
That'd
one of the
fun.
guys is wearing gloves. It's either gloves or shoes or both. So that might be 4. That's a lot of cosmetic. Oh yeah. So I was thinking before, like, geez, that's a lot of new options for gear. Like if they're adding all these cosmetic things, or adding all these new clothes. So I was like, would that kind of make it a little bit hard to manage your abilities because like you have all this new gear to worry about that could like change your abilities and whatnot. But that's but now that it's detached, like it's separate. Yeah, they're not like together anymore. They added all these new
do whatever you want basically.
Yeah, and it's really cool, and you can make your Inkling look cool now. The meta is going to be like picking the smallest hairstyle possible, so you have a really small hitbox. I'm like positive of that. But and the specials, like they actually said there's not going to be any returning specials. But
whoa,
there's not.
That's
a big commitment.
Nope, they're all new. So
one of them is like because of the Kraken.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's
man.
I think they might be getting rid of blasters, which would be interesting.
Blasters they're a weird type.
Blasters are really annoying to go against.
They're also really annoying to use.
They are, but when you're good at them, you're a god.
So far we got just regular splatter shot, and then we got the splatling, the dualies, a charger. What else do we have? A roller.
It's all the same stuff. They haven't confirmed that blasters are gone, but they haven't shown.
No. What's it called? In one of the official posts on Twitter, they have like a splatter shot hanging with the other weapons.
Oh well.
Something. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
please first.
I'm still not sure, but roasted.
And then there's that weird new weapon, the sideways roller.
No, it's the same roller. It's just that when you jump in the air and flick, it does like a vertical flick instead that travels farther.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, but if you flick it while you're on the ground, it does the same kind of thing as in the original game.
Oh, then never mind. I thought that was a whole new weapon class. All right, never mind then.
Something that I think is worth mentioning is that like the pistol thing is cool where you can like dodge,
The
but
goalies.
yeah, I feel like it's kind of weird that they talked about it, like they gave it a mention, and like that's kind of worrying to me because that might be the only new weapon class, and it's also worrying because if that's the only weapon that can do that in the entire game, those things are gonna suck. Like they're
Yeah.
going to be awful. You're gonna have to be at like optimal kissing range in order to effectively kill them.
Yeah. I can't be sure yet because it was like turf war and with a bunch of people who were really inexperienced and stuff and had never played the game before. But when I
Yeah,
was
Ethan can only assess the game if everyone's playing optimally with the smallest hairstyles.
anyway, when I was watching the Treehouse gameplay, the dualies didn't look terrible, like in terms of damage and stuff. The person shooting was pretty close, but I think they killed in like 4 hits.
Oh,
So I'm not sure, but I think that might be it. The thing is, they do the most damage after you do the roll. Like because normally they have like a bigger spread and stuff and they're not as concentrated so it won't be as much like DPS. But if you do the roll, they're like the crosshair like goes together so it's on one spot. So it does a lot more damage. So you have to be rolling like all the time if you want to be
Well,
that's cool.
I also heard that what's called when after you roll, you had to stay in place for a little bit, but
yeah.
as a
So
cooldown, I guess.
I think it'll be balanced. The only thing that I find kind of weird about it is they introduced this new ability, but it's specific to one weapon class. It's kind of weird.
have they showed how abilities are gonna work yet? Like beyond that they're detached?
Uh, I
Or do we
don't,
just
No,
know that?
I
no,
don't
they
think
haven't
so.
said anything
They're just
about that yet.
detached. I think you're still going to be able to talk to Spike, but like you just purchase abilities on cert to use, and like you maybe like you have like a
It's
It
just
could-
drugs now.
No, it could sort of work
Spike
like the
just
perk
sells you
system in
drugs.
Call of Duty.
yeah, like wait, sorry, what did you say?
I said it could work like the perk system in Call of Duty. That it's
Oh.
just there.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm thinking now is like you might have like a skill set or something. Like you have different sets of abilities that you can switch between. So like here you have run speed, like all run speed subs, damage up, defense, blah blah blah. And on another one you have a bunch of quick respawn and ink saber or something like that. That might be how it works, is what I'm
Have
thinking.
have you guys played Kid Icarus Uprising?
Yeah.
A little
Well,
bit,
no,
like
no,
chapter
no,
14,
I've seen it.
I think I got to.
The level system in that game, or the ability system in that game, is pretty cool. Basically, you just have like a little grid, and then all of your abilities take up a
Tetris.
certain amount of spots, and they have like a shape,
Tetris,
and
basically.
you have to like cram as many abilities into that space as you can. And I kind of like the minigame aspect of that. So if they're going to like make abilities changeable, I think that'd be a cool system to have some kind of cool little minigame thing.
Yeah.
Not really a minigame, just like a little puzzle that you have to solve to get it optimal.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's about it besides hype.
Yeah,
Uh,
let's wrap this up.
I guess we were going to wrap it up with some predictions things. I guess since we're talking about Splatoon 2, I think they're going to, like I said earlier about ARMS, I think they're going to push esports for this too.
Oh yeah, they showed it in the Switch trailer.
Yeah, they
definitely
showed it
have
in the
to.
trailer. They're going to do esports. And honestly, I'm super excited for that because I already play Splatoon competitively. So it's like, I feel like I'm finally getting recognition.
Finally at home.
Yeah, and I think that could actually be pretty hype because watching the cool thing about watching Splatoon is it's kind of more simplistic than other shooters. Like with Overwatch and stuff, there's like more stuff going on, I guess.
Yeah, there's like there's a learning curve, not in how good you are, but like in understanding what's going on.
Yeah, and like the mechanics of how it works and everything are a lot different, are like more complicated. But with Splatoon, it's like really simplistic. Like you stand on the tower, it goes, like that kind of thing. So it's like, that what's great about that is like like people always talk about this, but it's a simple thing that can be like developed into something like that has like tons of different aspects of it to make it complicated. like in a good way. And so I think that's what makes it really good to watch, is because there's this simple objective that you're going for, like the teams are going for, like maintain the splat zones, ride the tower, take the Rainmaker to the podium. That it's like you know what's going on, and you can just like, it's easy to immerse yourself in watching it. And so I think it would do well as an esport because of that.
Yeah, it's just like it's a lot easier to figure out what's going on just by looking at it, and anything that needs explaining, the game tells you in very, very simple English.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm excited for seeing competitive Splatoon like on the big screen. Well, I guess big screen.
Yeah.
Larger screen.
I hope that gets like Endgame TV, like some recognition, because they're like the main like Splatoon tournament people
Edgy.
right now. What?
Actually, and before you get sponsored by Verizon.
Verizon. Sprint.
No.
Anyway, in terms of other predictions, I guess we could talk about how the Switch itself will do.
Metroid.
Oh, Metroid. Yeah, okay, yeah, probably Metroid.
So this year is its 29th anniversary, right? And so lately, I've sort of got a feel for their sort of Metroid schedule, I can say. So they do 2 consoles, they skip a console, 2 consoles, and skip console, right? So first it was NES and SNES, right? They skipped N64, then it was GameCube and Wii. They skipped Wii U, and now they had to do one for Switch because they already skipped the console and they can't skip 2 consoles in a row. So they have to make one, and especially since it's its 30th anniversary next year.
It's like Retro's had like a game in the works for a while, and no one knows what it is. I think the last thing that they did was Tropical Freeze, so they've like they haven't done anything in a while. It's like time for them to roll something out, and
I'm
it
just
could be Metroid.
waiting for the announcement. I'm just
I think it's
waiting. I'm a diehard Metroid fan, and please Metroid.
I think it's Metroid Prime 4. If it's retro, I think it's Prime 4.
Other M.
The
Actually, I
other
actually
M
think
that's better.
I think Other M was actually pretty good, in all honesty.
You like
Really?
Sonic 06. I don't consider your opinions on anything valid
I mean,
in the slightest.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're off the channel.
Kicked
all
out,
right,
replacing
I guess
you
I
with
can go
Grayson.
now.
I know I laughed during that, but it wasn't a joke.
Anyway, I guess wrapping it up with one more thing, I guess talk about how the Switch will actually do.
Oh,
I've
did
seen,
great.
I've seen hate from the people I sort of expected it to get hate from, like the people nitpicking at it for like, oh, it's got low storage, or oh, why would I ever even want to take it with me, and like stuff like that.
Why wouldn't you?
I've seen like a ton of people like, well, first of all, there's always the PC master race argument, which you can't really beat because like, I mean, I sort of agree that like PC's superior, but as a console, it's like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Nintendo boy, so Nintendo is my go-to.
To me, console's about the games, not about like, because console has some capabilities for playing with people that PC doesn't, mostly like locally and stuff. And also, it just a lot of the time there's just exclusive games that you can't get on PC that are really good. But yeah, the main thing that's worrying me with how the Switch will do is just its launch lineup. Like,
I'm not really concerned about that as much because
Yeah, launch, it will do great. Launch, well, not great, but it'll do well.
at first it'll sell because the system is awesome and everyone wants to play the new Zelda, and then they'll roll out like, because we know what's going to happen. We know that there are going to be a lot of awesome games that are coming, and like the big ones, of course, like Splatoon and
It'll be like
you know,
waves. It'll be like waves. Like first wave is the Breath of the Wild, second wave is Splatoon, and then the third wave is Mario Odyssey.
and then the fourth wave is Metroid.
Oh, I swear to God, if it's that, I'm gonna die of happiness.
Anyway, okay, yeah, that makes me feel kind of better about it. Yeah.
people are like comparing its launch lineup right now to the Wii U, but I feel like those are mostly the people who like watched an already bias against Nintendo online personality talk about it, or like read an article about it where they went over the main points and they haven't done much research, because this has got a way better launch lineup than the Wii U because it's got actual games that are like cool and people want to play, like the Zelda, which we've been waiting like 80,000 years for.
Yeah.
Yeah, like something that has never been a strong point for either of Nintendo's competitors is exclusivity. Like most of the games on Xbox One and PS4 even if I can get them on Xbox One or PS4, I'll probably end up getting them on PC instead if I even do get them because I can like play it in my room and also I have a mouse. So like if you want exclusivity and that's like a big thing for you, then you should get Nintendo anyway. So like yeah, I've always thought it's impressive how Nintendo's managed to make their own games or like
Be
heavily
so
oversee
exclusive.
their own games and then still create consoles that do pretty well. They're
Yeah.
able to like
I mean, let's just
Like-
say it right now, the Wii U's dead at this point.
It is so dead. I'm sorry.
it's like they're able to. It's like in volleyball, if like the other team had the passing restriction, but your team didn't, you could just hit the ball up into the air and then just hit it again yourself. That's what Nintendo has, and like they're finally taking advantage of that, which is cool.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
one more
stuff.
thing before we end
'Cause
this.
we have
No
rambled
more
on.
region locking. No more region locking.
Oh yeah. That'll be.
Finally,
oh.
I can fly to Japan, purchase games from their game store, and then come back to America and play it in Japanese and not be able to read anything.
Can't wait to
I'll
play
get to hear
Dragon
Zelda
Quest.
scream more.
I can't
No,
wait to
no,
play
I don't
Dragon
need to say
Quest,
that.
a dialogue-heavy game in Japanese.
I'm not playing any of the RPGs. I already said that. If I am playing those, either I've been like mind controlled by the ant that's currently crawling on my backpack, or like I don't know.
It's still there.
Wait, I actually haven't seen him in a while.
Is it in your head already?
It's all in your head, Morgan. All right. Well,
Oh,
I
God,
think we've said
I
enough.
broke Morgan. I think I broke Morgan.
Oh God, where's the ant?
Oh,
Go!
All right.
I want to squish.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna end it there.
end this.
If you listen to this entire thing, because this is like
Congratulations.
this is over an hour now. We like applaud you. Thank you, by the way, because that is much appreciated.
We love you.
If you, I'm trying to think of an outro.
Apple.
If you like this image of Nabbit that I've been that I've been looking at, like this Nabbit picture that somebody's using as an icon on NeoGAF that I've literally been staring at for the entirety of this discussion because I needed something to look at. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
This has been the Sunscreen Squad, signing off.
Apple.